The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zethkar's translation device crackled with static. The Velthari diplomat's four eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep confusion among his species. "Surely there has been an error in translation," Zethkar said, his voice carrying the harmonic undertones that marked his people's speech. "The human survived how long in vacuum?" Commander Sarah Chen stood at the witness podium, her uniform bearing the insignia of the Terran Deep Space Rescue Corps. Despite the attention of 200 alien representatives from across the galaxy, her expression remained calm and professional. 3 minutes and 14 seconds, she repeated. Confirmed by multiple sensors and witness accounts. The Cathari representative, a crystalline being whose body chimed with each movement, resonated with disbelief. "Impossible. Our medical databases indicate that humans expire within 30 seconds of vacuum exposure. Your species lacks the biological adaptations necessary for space survival." Chen's lips curved into what the aliens had learned was called a smile, though they still debated whether it indicated aggression or amusement in humans. "With respect, Ambassador, your databases might need updating. The incident had occurred 3 standard days ago aboard the Joint Research Station Harmony's Edge, positioned at the border between Terran and Zephyrian space. The station housed scientists from 17 different species, all working together on quantum fold experiments that could revolutionize interstellar travel. Dr. Yuki Tanaka had been alone in Laboratory 7 when the containment breach occurred. The quantum fold generator had destabilized, creating a cascade failure that ripped through the lab's hull like tissue paper. In an instant, the laboratory became open space. What happened next defied everything the Galactic Council thought they knew about human physiology. Dr. Tanaka was approximately 4 meters from the emergency airlock when the breach occurred, Chen continued, activating the holographic display that showed the lab's reconstruction. Standard protocol would have been to don an emergency suit, but the breach created a debris field between her and the equipment locker. The hologram showed a slight Japanese woman in a lab coat, caught in the violent decompression as atmosphere vented into space. But instead of the immediate death the alien observers expected, something remarkable happened. "She held her breath," whispered the Zephyrian delegate, a being whose own species could survive in vacuum for mere moments due to their gas-based physiology. "But surely..." "Actually," Chen interrupted, "she didn't hold her breath. That's the first misconception. Holding your breath in vacuum will kill you faster than anything else. Dr. Tanaka did exactly what every human in the deep Space Corps is trained to do. She exhaled completely and let her body go into emergency mode." The hologram showed Tanaka pushing off from a floating piece of debris, her movements deliberate despite the chaos around her. Her skin began to swell slightly as the pressure differential took effect, but she remained conscious and mobile. "Impossible," the Velthari medical expert interjected. "The human cardiovascular system cannot function without atmospheric pressure. Your blood should boil." "It doesn't boil," Chen replied patiently. "That's another misconception. Human blood has enough internal pressure to remain stable for several minutes in vacuum. Yes, there's ebulism, the formation of water vapor in bodily fluids, but it's not immediately fatal." The aliens watched in fascination as the hologram showed Tanaka's methodical progress toward the airlock. Despite her swelling skin and the saliva boiling on her tongue, she continued to move with purpose. "The radiation exposure alone should have been lethal," the Cathari noted. "For your species, perhaps. Humans evolved under a star that bathes their homeworld in radiation daily. We're remarkably resistant to short-term exposure." Ambassador Zethkar leaned forward, his curiosity overriding his skepticism. "But consciousness, surely she lost consciousness within seconds?" "Dr. Tanaka remained conscious for the entire 3 minutes and 14 seconds, Chen said. "She even managed to activate the emergency beacon and provide a running commentary of her condition for the medical team." The recording crackled to life, and Tanaka's voice filled the chamber, strained but clear. "Breach in Lab 7, I'm going for the airlock. Suit locker is blocked. Going to make this the old-fashioned way. Vision getting spotty, but I can still see the lock. Almost there." The aliens sat in stunned silence as they listened to a being they'd considered fragile calmly narrate her own journey through vacuum. When she reached the airlock, her skin temperature had dropped to near freezing, and she was showing signs of severe hypoxia, Chen continued. but she was still conscious enough to operate the manual controls. The hologram showed the airlock cycling, atmosphere rushing in around Tanaka's swollen but intact form. Medical teams rushed in immediately, but the remarkable thing wasn't just that she had survived, it was how quickly she recovered. Full recovery within 6 hours, Chen announced. She's actually back on duty as of yesterday, working on reinforcing the lab's containment systems. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of sounds, clicks, harmonics, chimes, and vibrations that the translation system struggled to process. Finally, Ambassador Zethkar managed to restore order. "This changes everything," he said slowly. "We've been treating humans as a protected species, assuming your fragility required special accommodations. But if this is representative of human capability, Dr. Tanaka isn't even one of our toughest," Chen replied with that enigmatic smile again. "She's a quantum physicist who spends most of her time in laboratories. You should meet our miners or our deep space construction crews." The Cathari representative chimed thoughtfully. "Perhaps we need to revise our understanding of what constitutes fragility in the galaxy." Chen nodded. "Humans might not have natural armor or crystalline bodies or gas-based physiology. We can't survive naked in acid rain or feed directly on stellar radiation. But we've learned that sometimes the most remarkable strength comes from an ability to endure, adapt, and keep thinking clearly when everything around you is trying to kill you." As the session adjourned, alien diplomats clustered together. Their conversations focused on a new understanding of their human allies. The species they'd once seen as delicate newcomers who needed protection had just demonstrated something that would be talked about in xenobiology classrooms for generations. Later, as Chen walked through the station's corridors toward the docking bay, she passed Laboratory 7, where Dr. Tanaka was indeed back at work, surrounded by reinforced containment fields and improved safety systems. "How did the testimony go?" Tanaka asked, looking up from her quantum calculations. Chen grinned. "I think we might have opened a few eyes, or whatever they used to see." Through the reinforced viewport, stars stretched endlessly into the void. Beautiful, deadly, and no longer quite as impossible for humans to traverse as the galaxy had once believed. The universe was vast and hostile, filled with radiation, vacuum, and countless ways to die. But as the aliens were learning, humans had spent their entire evolutionary history on a planet that was trying to kill them too. They'd gotten very good at surviving the impossible,